Yo, what's poppin'? Neil Hobson, Neil time. Welcome to the Inspire Young Adults podcast. Got my friends here with me, Jimmy, Karen, Anthony, Sean in the building, and we're excited to talk about habits for your health and fitness. You know, Pastor's been talking about strategies for success in 2020, and one of those main strategies are your habits. So we're talking about that, but we can't start without saying our mission statement. And what is it on the count of three? 1, 2, 3.
To lead people to a God who is for them and help them discover His purpose for their life.
We want you to know God, find freedom, discover your purpose, and to make a difference. Absolutely. You know, today was actually named National Quit Day. National Quit Day. The day where most people give up on their resolutions and their goals for the new year. They just stop, they give up. I'm not doing it anymore. Okay, I'm going to eat the cake. Okay, I'm going to call an X. Okay, like we going back. No, not today. We're going to rename it National Fit Day. Okay, it's all about habits for your health and fitness, and we have some health experts and fitness experts here in the building, and we don't know where you are in your journey. We don't know where you've started. We don't know where you're going to end up, but we do know that we're going to help you take the next step. Okay, Jimmy, you know, this is Jimmy Miller, by the way. Jimmy, you've been in fitness for quite a while now. So tell us a little bit about yourself, brother.
Yeah, so first of all, my name is Jimmy Miller, born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. I am married, got 2 kids, full-time job, a side hustle, 2 side hustles.
Right.
Yeah, so, but I've been into fitness for about 8 years now. Yeah, so I used to be shaped like a Muppet, and now I'm not. So
Facts on facts. That's right. That's right.
So my name is Karen Ambrose. A part of my fitness journey has been about 12 years now or so, and let me tell you, it has been a journey, a constant battle, but we'll talk more about that later, I'm sure. I serve in a variety of different ministries here, including Inspire. I've been here since it started, and I absolutely love it.
My name is Anthony Menzie. I go by Amens.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? I'm married to my beautiful wife, Darlicia Menzie. And
Shout out.
Gotta call it. Work for Boeing, and I also am a certified personal trainer. So I train clients and things like that on health and fitness as well.
That's what's up. I've been in the gym with Anthony a little bit too, so
That's true. That's true.
That's how I got him swole, actually. I really want to know the story.
Talk to him.
All right, what's up? This is Sean. You can previously hear me on episode 1. Yeah, we had fun there. Make sure you check out all the previous episodes. They were all good. Yes. But, yeah, I work here at Church on the Rock. I've been on staff here for about 12 years now. I work a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, a lot of the production, broadcast, audio, lighting. I have my hands in a lot of that stuff, and I love what I do. My fitness journey... It's been a long one, and we'll definitely talk about that more, but I've gone from being in the gym every day to years where not at all, to hating myself because of not being in the gym, to back in the gym and getting back in shape. So it's definitely been a journey.
Yeah, it's real out here for sure. Yeah. And again, my name's Neil. You know, I do a number of things, but I'm just a believer of Jesus, and I love Him, and I love my wife, Kim, and my daughter, Gabriella, and baby G. And I'm in radio. I'm a radio DJ. I'm a live DJ as well. I dance. And I get to lead great teams, so I'm super pumped to be here with you. My fitness journey is all over the place, honestly. You know, I always think I'm swole, but whenever I look at Jimmy and Anthony here, I know it's another story, guys. But you know, I'm always on a fitness journey to stay healthy, just being in dance, and to you know, make sure I not only look healthy, but I actually am physically healthy. And it's a big difference between that, because there's a lot of times where you could look a certain way, but internally you may be jacked up.
Exactly.
Okay, and that's just spiritually too. Okay, but the thing is, you know, I'm always trying to grow. I'm always trying to get better. I'm always wanting to learn. So when you're on this spiritual and physical journey of getting your habits together and you're getting your health together, be patient with yourself. Yeah. You know, take time and be willing to learn. Be willing to learn. That's why you're listening right now, because you want to learn, you want to grow, you want to take the next step, and I'm excited for you to do so as well. You know, I just want to start on basics here, okay? Just basics, okay? How often, personally, do you work out, Jimmy?
Yeah, so for me, I work out 3 to 4 times a week. The fourth time is always more so the variable kind of workout day, mostly because it's can I get into the gym because of my schedule. My schedule usually is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes Saturday, and that's usually the variable depending on what's happening that week. I do the typical what they call the bro split.
Okay. What's the bro split? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm gonna break down the bro split for you guys. So it's everybody's Monday is typically National Chest Day. That's what they call it. So chest day. Arms is the next day. Leg day is Friday.
We never do leg day. That might be the problem. That might be the problem.
And because I didn't get leg day in Friday, I'm actually when we get done here, that's where I'm headed. Straight to do leg day.
I'm headed straight to Chipotle. So I don't know about you.
Yeah.
So you break it up. You do a little of everything. Okay. Yeah. Now, how often do you work out, Ant?
I usually work out about 3 to 4 times as well.
Okay.
And, I kind of do a semi-bro split. It depends. One day is upper body, and then the next day is lower body, and I just keep going back to back with that.
So I just do biceps. That's it. Like I'm just working on the bicep, guys. I see what it is.
But that's included in the upper body with the biceps, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of different workouts you can do that hit your biceps, but you don't have to like actually do biceps. Like back workouts. That pulling motion, you can do it. That way you can build everything else.
I see. So Karen, like what's the typical week look for you working out?
Well, if I want to be transparent and honest, currently it's been about 2 or 3 days a week. Just in my home. I haven't actually been going to the gym. But I have an elliptical at my house. I'm blessed to have a little bit of equipment at my house. So nice elliptical. So I've been getting up in the morning and doing that.
Do you prefer working out at home or at the gym?
No, I prefer the gym.
Really?
Yeah, because it gets me, for me, I'm more amped to, if I go somewhere to work out, I'm going to get a better workout in than the comfort of my own home and my own surrounding. Because it's upstairs. Now, if it was downstairs, I know you got Anthony, you have a gym downstairs. So, right? Is that right? In your basement?
Yeah.
So going downstairs for you to work out is like you going, to the gym per se, right?
Yeah. Because you're changing the location a little bit.
Right,
and you have more
exactly.
space.
Right.
And then when you leave, like when you actually phically have to go to a location, it's almost like, okay, I wasted my gas to get here.
Right.
Like, I better go in.
Right. I already started this. I'm committed.
Right. It's been some times where I sit in the car and I'm just like battling with myself, like, dude, just go in. Like,
that's when I'm laying in the bed. I'm like, okay, just get up and go for a walk. That's all you got to do.
One of the pros to having it in your basement is it's feasible on your own time schedule, you know, and because in the beginning I used to go to the gym and work out for like an hour or two. My wife was like, where are you?
Right, you better be swole coming in.
So now I'm able to do what I want to do and at the comfort of my own home.
That's great. Sean, do you like working out with people, or would you rather just get it done by yourself?
It depends on the day. I'm a very introverted person, so I love being by myself. Knock it out. But there's something different when someone's there with you.
Yeah.
Either they're going to be better or worse than you. Right. And so if they're better than you, it pushes you. Yeah. And if they're worse than you, you have to encourage them, which pushes you. So both ways actually pushes me to be better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not able to listen to what I want to listen to.
Right.
I can't just sit there and put my headphones in and listen to a podcast if someone's there. But I definitely get way more out of it if someone's there with me. Yeah. It's kind of like a coaching and accountability aspect.
Yeah, that's spiritual too.
Yeah.
You got to have both, because you can't just be out here all willy-nilly, solo dolo, and expecting to get the right results, because if you're slipping and you're not doing that extra rep, the extra set, then somebody's going to be there to be like, yo, you need to go ahead and do that. Knock that out, homie. Exactly. You know what I mean?
I'm competitive too, so if you did one more than me, I gotta grab the bigger dumbbells.
Going to the 100s.
I was just going to say, I worked out with Sean before a while ago, and I remember us being on the dumbbells. And, doing flat chest, and I was moving up 80s. 90s, and he was like, I'm going to keep that with you, even if I can't do it, I'm going to try it.
Oh,
you know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? So it helps push people, and do something that they normally wouldn't have done if they were by themselves.
Listen, so I work out at this community center, right? It's for a bunch of old people, and I like it because it's clean. People are respectable. They drink their coffee in the morning, and it's just like something that's kind of peaceful in the morning. But when I go to work out with Anthony at Gold's, and some of the bros like Jimmy and Gold, man, these cats, they start at a different level. I'm generally starting, let me get a nice little 25 dumbbell in. The thing about Gold is that it's separate because they have, basically the smaller dumbbells on one side, and then the larger dumbbells on the other side. So I start with them on the larger side, so I got to start at 55, 60.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's my max.
That's it.
And I'm like, guys.
People are judging you. Which side you going to, bro?
Right, I'm maxed out. I'm ready to go. Hit the shower. It's different, like working out with people as opposed to, and what you listen to while you're working out is key too. Sometimes I'm like listening to worship music or the Bible app. Well, I'm like, this is not really, it's not hitting the spot, guys.
Exactly.
I can't work out the Hillsong. That's all I'm saying.
What? No, little oceans. It ain't gonna.
Nah, it's not hitting for me.
Man, you gotta find something to work out to that's actually gonna inspire you and push you. Whether it's a podcast, like maybe you're working out right now, or maybe it's something that's maybe a little bit upbeat. Do you have anything on your playlist that's like a go-to that you would listen to? Or
honestly, there's a couple actually on Spotify. If you just do Christian workout music, it's really good remixes of Christian music.
Facts.
Just to throw in the background and keep it going.
Some great Christian radio stations as well.
Yeah.
That you can listen to. I'm not going to mention any names, but yeah, there are as well. That's for sure.
And on that same tip, man, there's actually this great dubstep remix of Oceans that's on my workout playlist.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, but yeah, facts.
You can
That's what
listen
it is.
to Oceans.
Right, you can. You
That's
can
what it
listen to
is.
Hillsong.
That's what it is.
But the dubstep version.
Right. And one thing I do, I actually enjoy working out. I'm not sure if you guys actually like working out because some people dread it. Some people do it because they have to. Karen, you don't?
No, I'll say this. I don't enjoy cardio.
Okay.
Lifting weights, I thoroughly enjoy that. I like to move some weight and pick up some weight. It's funny talking about working out with people. I hate doing cardio with other people. I don't bring anybody with me to do cardio, but I love to lift with other people. I don't like to, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of women in my circle right now that really like lift, like we're deadlifting 150, 200 pounds. We're not playing, like I love to do that. But, but I'm not. When it comes to cardio, it's not my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. I try to get cardio out of the way, even though it's important. But it's so important to actually enjoy what you do, and you may not start out enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I think you start enjoying it once you see some results.
Yeah.
What do you tell Anthony? What do you tell your clients when you're training them if they're not seeing any results right away, and maybe they're getting frustrated? What do you actually tell them to do?
I try to let them know in the beginning that it's a long journey.
Right.
Don't come in expecting, 3 months to look how you picture yourself looking.
I can't look like The Rock in 3 months. Are you serious?
It took me. Y'all seen me here.
Day, Sean.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Y'all seen me here before I even started, like doing the fitness thing, and it took like 2 to 3 years to like develop the type of body type that I wanted.
Facts.
So when I tell my clients, let them know realistic expectations.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time.
Yeah.
To see these results, but if you keep working, you stay disciplined and consistent, you'll get there. So
I think consistency is the thing.
I was thinking the realistic goals.
Realistic goals.
Realistic goals.
Yeah, and it's easy to want to get swole or get trim or slim in a week's time or whatever because you're preparing for an event or you got something coming up. Like I'm about to go to the beach. I need to make sure I hit this real quick. It's like, it's generally going to take more time. It's going to take more time than a week, a month.
1 week is not going to get it done.
No. And I think what you mentioned, the consistent part, is you can actually start doing some damage. So you can actually start, making some progress, but you can't see it yet. Mm-hmm. And when you stop so soon, it's kind of like you have to start back over again.
Exactly.
And I think working out is key, and eventually you will enjoy once you start seeing some results in your life. Why is it important to develop good fitness habits? Like, why is it important to you?
For me, for developing the habits, for me, it was more of a mindset change of the habits that made them actually stick. Okay. So the book Atomic Habits, James Clear, great book. But he talks about in there, it's not about it's not about just the specific goal, it's about changing the identity. So how do you see yourself actually? Like, are you wanting to get fit, or are you a fit person? There's a big difference in those. And it was actually off another documentary. I pulled this from it, and I always say it to myself, was, what would a pro do?
Yeah.
So if you ever have any kind of question, what should I do in this time? Well, what are you trying to go? Are you a fit person? Are you trying to be the best in your industry? What would the pros in that industry do?
Right.
And then that makes my decision.
Yeah.
Like, would they choose a salad over a hamburger? Yeah, that's what the pros do. Would they work out today or sleep in?
Right.
What do the pros do? Well, they're going to go work out.
Yeah.
And I think what that goes back to what Pastor was saying about your self-talk. Because like you are who you say who you tell yourself you are, and also going back to that other point about people giving up after 1 week. So you can't possibly see any results in a week's time, mainly because muscle hypertrophy, actually happens every 2 weeks. So you have to work out at least 2 weeks straight before you see any kind of results. Wow. So it's like the mindset of, oh man, this event is coming up next Saturday. I'm gonna hit the gym really hard.
Jimmy, stop talking about me, man. You already know me, bro.
It's like,
let me get in the gym with you real quick.
But yeah,
I feel like I can get swole in like a week and a half or 2 weeks. I promise you. Like my muscle memory kicks in a little bit.
That's another thing too. Is like there are different body types and different body shapes. So
that's a good point that you're mentioning because sometimes you can compare yourself to somebody else that their genes are just different.
No, really, real talk. And there's 3 body types that are out there. There's the endomorph, the ectomorph, and the mesomorph. And so,
talk to him, Jimmy.
Yeah,
talk that talk.
So getting into the different body shapes, when you think about endomorph, these are typically the people with a bigger frame. Think of people like Queen Latifah or
Start mentioning names now, Jimmy. Jeez, she may be listening to the podcast.
No disrespect to them, but like they just have a bigger frame. These are people that tend to be a little bit more stocky up top. And then the ectomorph, you can think of more so of like Napoleon Dynamite, kind of like real skinny, slender, lanky people. Yeah. And then the mesomorph are the people who I think personally, bro, I think you're a mesomorph.
Okay.
Which is like naturally muscular kind of body build.
Gotcha.
Which it's almost like you can do anything and get away with it.
Yeah.
But almost.
Yeah.
The keyword there is almost.
Yeah.
But I also think I'm one of those mesomorphs too. And then it's kind of unfair that the industry kind of puts everything into the mesomorph style of body shape.
Right.
The endomorph and the ectomorph, they both want to look like the mesomorph when their genes are just different.
Yeah,
but that's all I'm gonna say about that.
That's true because sometimes you walk into the gym and you be like, "Yo, what you doing?" Like, well, I'm just doing some basic. No, what you doing? Because you swole or you doing something different. And do you eat protein? No, I don't drink protein. I'm just doing some rice and beans. Like, nah, bro. And sometimes people's body types just develop a little bit quicker. So it's important not to compare yourself to somebody else and their transformation. And Sean, you've lost a lot of weight over time. What's one of the habits you developed to actually say, "Hey, I'm gonna stick with this, and I'm gonna see some results"? What's something you've adopted?
I don't know if it's necessarily a habit. It was just to a point where I was sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Holy crap! Hold on.
It's all right, bro. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's getting real.
Until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, man.
Pastor says it all the time.
So it just came to a point where I was sick of it and I was fed up. And that made me decide to make a difference. And sorry,
it's all good.
Dang,
got deep real quick.
Yeah. So it made me decide to make a difference in what I was doing and wanted to be around in the future. Essentially,
that's good. That's good.
I think what you said was huge because a lot of people want to look a certain way. And they put the focus on that, but they don't really put the focus on feeling a certain way, actually being healthy, so they can actually live a long life and have a generation and a legacy to pass down. Karen, you've had a significant weight transformation, weight journey from before I've known you. I've seen pictures to where you are now. It's pretty incredible. What have you done? Like, and why did you decide to do it?
I honestly, it was a friend that I was going to church here many years ago, she was coming here, I'm sorry, that she was like, hey, let's go, and I was like, okay, cool, let's go. And so from there on, we started going to 24-hour fitness back in the day. That's how long ago it was. And it just kind of stuck with me. I met someone there that was a personal trainer. I was actually his first client. We became like really close friends, still friends to this day. And it was just important to me. Understand kind of like what Sean says. I can relate to Sean and how Sean feels. You just kind of get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you know? But for me, it's really more about I want to feel good. It's more of a mental that I know if I'm doing something, then I'm happy. I feel like I'm accomplishing something and I'm doing something. And for the ladies, repping the ladies here, you want to look good in your jeans. You know what I'm saying? But it's not
Fellas
about
want to look good in their jeans too.
Right.
but in all, real talk, that it's just more, to me personally, it's more about what I feel good with and when I don't feel good, that kind of thing. That's how I kind of measure that. So
do you see yourself differently now that you look in the mirror from before?
Man, you all getting in my business now.
Just asking.
I'm making me all vulnerable and stuff. I think that's one of the things that I struggle with is I still see myself the way I was when I started. Because we're talking and I'll just be real transparent, we're talking over, 100 some odd pounds that I've lost over the last 10 years. I mean, it's been a significant, it is great. But no, I tend to battle that in my mind of, hey, this is who you are today. This is not, and I forget about my wins. I have to remind myself, and talking to Kim, about doing this, I was like, man, and she was like, but where did you come from? And I was like, oh yeah, because I'm so focused on where I want to go or where I think I should be that I forgot, hey, let's celebrate where we came from.
Absolutely.
So let's celebrate that win.
We are our own worst critic when it comes to anything really in life. I seen this meme on Instagram, and it was a fitness dude. He looked buff, and he was posing in the mirror, and he was looking in the mirror and saw himself as skinny. So it's like the way you see yourself is like we're so hard on ourselves, but everybody else can see that growth. Around you and tell you. So I think it's important for people to encourage, each other. If you see something, Jimmy coming out, he might look extra swollen than last week. Be like, hey, okay, bro, I see you.
Exactly.
Because we'll tell ourselves at home, like, man, like, I still look like this, or different things like that. So it's important to encourage each other.
I think Anthony, you do that really well. You always encouraging me in the gym. He'd be like, "Oh man, you swole today." Then let's take his little 2 fingers and squeeze my bicep. And I'm like, man.
It's important to develop, as far as the habits, realistic expectations. Because when I started, I was like, man, I'm gonna wake up at 7 a.m. before I go to work. And hit the gym, blah, blah, blah. But you may not be a morning person, So your thing may be in the evening or at nighttime. So whatever works for you, that's what you do.
And being consistent with that, Pastor said a couple weeks ago about, working out at the same time every day. That's how you see results.
Right.
Sometimes when and he was really referring to your quiet time and the time you spend with God, like make it a set time that you're going to wake up, you're going to spend this time with God, you're going to get in your chronological Bible, you're going to go through your confession, like you're going to do those things daily, and that's a habit. It's developing something that's consistent, because when you're all over the place, it's easy to miss it. It's easy to say, oh, I'll do it this tomorrow, I'll push it off to this time. It's like, just do it consistently. And if it's not in the morning, maybe it's in the evening. There's no shame in that. And I think the way you see yourself, what you're saying to yourself, is really key, because I struggle with that sometimes, where I feel like I should be more swole, or I feel I should be less trim, or whatever it is. And a lot of times I see myself as what's wrong, okay? And it could be like, okay, I feel like I'm in a good spot, but I'm looking in the mirror, looking at what I need to work on. Right. And there's nothing wrong with growing, because we're lifelong learners. Yeah. We're growing for sure, but it can be unhealthy after time, where it's kind of like, well, I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to do this, and there's always something, and that can really drive you crazy. So
that's true.
Yeah, going back to the image you have of yourself too, that's key, because how you see yourself is how your body's going to subconsciously start to form itself.
That's true.
Yes.
So there's a book that Pastor was talking about called The Power of Positive Imaging by Norman Vincent Peale.
Yes.
Great book. And that's what it's all talking about, is knowing knowing where you want to go and having that image, but also being realistic about it. Yeah. But if you can see yourself being in a certain place, you'll get to that place.
Right.
So take that meme that you're talking about, Anthony. Like he was buff and he's seeing himself skinny. He's putting it in his head to get skinnier.
Right.
Even though his actions are trying to do something different.
Exactly.
He's just sitting there fighting himself.
That's good.
So it's that image in your head that will either drive you or destroy you.
You know what I heard, Sean? I heard on the same line about prison, okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm infatuated with prison. I never want to go to prison. Never will be in prison.
Watch out now.
I know. I have a confession, guys. No, I like prison workouts. I'll get a cylinder block. You know what I'm saying? I'll do some push-ups and in a little beater or something like that. Right. I'm serious. I'll do pull-ups on anything. I love that stuff. But what they're saying was in prison, it's about 50% mental of your growth. Because you see, it's the difference between prison swole and regular swole. You can see somebody been to club fitness and somebody been in prison, right? It's just a different type of swole.
Right.
And the thing is, they don't have all the fancy equipment. They don't have all the great foods and the protein shakes and hazelnut, this or that and other. They have what they have to use. But they said it's such a survival of the fittest mentality where they have to grow. So mentally, they see growth from other guys, they're around growth, and they know in order to survive, I have to grow. So your muscles start to develop to protect yourself, and so that's how they get a lot bigger. Now, they do the work, but you get a lot bigger a lot quicker because it's the way you're thinking, who you're around, and how you're seeing yourself in your environment. So
100% key.
And you ain't got nothing but time on your hands.
That's true, too. You got 23 hours a day.
5,000 push-ups a day.
You should be able to figure something out, guys. That's facts, though.
Yeah, it's about all those people you have around you. Not only the image in your head, but the friends and the people you have around you. Do you have a coach that's pushing you?
Exactly.
Do you have someone that's keeping you accountable on your diet, on your lifting? Like, those are going to make 100% difference if you're going to succeed or not.
Winners are always working on their attitude.
Yeah.
Who do you have around you right now? Who is keeping you accountable if you're working out, whether you're eating the right things? Like, who are you putting around you? Birds of a feather flock together. You want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with winners. And there's people that are, not necessarily winners yet, that you're helping them along. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like who you have around you is key to your success in life. We're talking about, strategies for success in 2020. What Pastor's been preaching this great series on, and habits for health and fitness is what we're focusing on today. But what's a common mistake maybe you've made, Karen, regarding your health or fitness? What's something that's like, I keep falling into this trap?
Man, sweets.
Sweets.
Yes, food intake. I think a big part of it is intake versus, what you're putting out, you know. And if you're not working out as consistently, but you're still eating whatever you want, whenever you want, that'll cause an issue. So I think for me, I have a sweet tooth. I like chocolate. I like whatever it is, So monitoring what I'm putting in me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Jimmy, what do you think? What's something that a trap you've fallen into regarding your health or fitness?
Yeah, a trap that I've fallen into is thinking that I don't have to work out legs. So I'm guilty of skipping leg day.
and Jimmy, why is it important to work out legs?
Because the legs basically are the driving force behind everything. It's almost like your core, pretty much. And Daniel also taught a great message about core strength,
inner strength.
Yes. Inner strength from your core. And while I have the mic here, I just want to point out the parallels. There's so many parallels between working out and faith and spirituality in terms of being a Christian. Like everything we're talking about right here in this podcast right now, who your circle of friends are, what your mindset is when you're in the gym, what muscle groups are you going to work out today? It's all spiritual, because just because it's a muscle group, it's also a spiritual muscle group too that you should be working out or you should be looking at. And then when you're examining your friends, like, are your friends building you up in the faith? Are they feeding your spiritual man, or are they not? It's like, what are you feeding yourself? Yeah. That it's all the parallel between the two is it's uncanny, and you know God set it up like that.
Oh yeah,
You know He did.
Yeah, you guys are gonna find out 2,000 years later. Yeah, foundation is key. It's so important to not neglect the thing that's gonna keep you standing. Here we're Church on the Rock. We're built on a foundation. Matthew 7:24, and when the winds and the waves they beat against the house, you're not going to be moved. Your house is not going to crash because you're founded and you're built on a rock. Right. And a lot of times we spiritually build our upper bodies, and we want to look great. But at the same time, our legs are terrible. They're not holding us up when we actually run into something, right. Because we focused all of our attention on what other people can see.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's key, Ant, you do a lot of leg work. You're deadlifting and you're squatting and you're doing a lot of things that I would like to do one day. But honestly, I don't, just be real with you, I don't work out my legs very much because you don't see my legs very much. And I think that's been a downfall to me growing overall, my overall strength.
That's true.
Because I choose to neglect the thing that's really the most important.
Yeah, the most human growth hormone is in the legs. So
Legs are huge.
yeah, so
Large muscles. And I've noticed even working out and strengthening my legs that my upper body things got heavy or got stronger.
Yeah.
My bench press went up. Like your legs are like really the driving force, as Jimmy said. Like you really can have a well-rounded body when you focus on your legs.
I just want to say that I do work out legs. Neil has been there.
I've seen it. I've watched him. I haven't participated, but I've watched him.
I got receipts.
I got receipts. Seriously though.
I remember going to the gym with Neil one time, and I was talking about squatting, and he was like, the squat? The squatting?
Listen.
I'm like, yeah, bro, you gonna squat, get these legs.
Man, every day's a bicep tricep day for me, bro. I really do need to get better at it, seriously though. And you may be listening right now and you don't know where to start. I encourage you to start wherever you are. Don't go in the gym and try to jump on a machine because somebody else is on there. Just start out maybe as a walk. Maybe you just got to the gym. That's the first step.
That's true.
Okay,
Show up.
and then you show up, you get a smoothie, you sit down for a minute, and maybe it's you're walking and you're running, and then you're maybe asking for somebody for some help. Like I said, we're lifelong learners. You need somebody that's going to help you along the journey. And Sean, I've seen you transform your life. I've seen you transform your body, your mental image more than anything. What's one of the resources or tools that you've used that have helped you either start or continue on?
So recently I've been using it's a system called Whoop, WHOOP. And the biggest thing for me is it tracks your recovery, not only your strain, but your recovery. So it actually tells you what percentage you're at to be able to either push harder or, hey, you need to back off because it's actually going to hurt you.
That's dope.
So it's like having a personal coach in your pocket. And you tell it when you're sleeping, you tell it when you're working out. It measures your heart rate off your heart rate variability and your max heart rate. And it's a fantastic tool to help gauge where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Now, I was actually just talking to a friend earlier. We were talking that like when I'm weightlifting, my strain on the app doesn't go up very high because it's based off of cardiovascular. But if you go for a run, the strain shoots up. So you also, it's an app. It's computer. So you also have to gauge it a little bit yourself.
Right.
So it's not an end all, but it is. I check it like 5 times a day, even if I'm sitting in my office.
Nice.
Oh, did my strain go up? Have I worked out today? No, I've been sitting in my office. Why am I even checking it? But that to me has been one of a crazy tool to get my mindset correct and let me know when and how hard I need to work out.
Yeah. Listen, I think the thing about recovery is key. I underestimate recovery. I think it's important to recover because, people say, oh, you need to make sure you sleep. You need to make sure you rest. You need to make sure, if you're doing a post-workout, shake or whatever it is, it's important because sometimes we just focus on the workout.
Right.
We just focus on going to church. We just focus on, getting the word in, which is great, and we're eating and we're hearing. But the doing part of recovery, walking that thing out can be kind of difficult sometimes. I know, Karen, one of the healthy habits that you have is that you take time for yourself. You take time to rest. It's not always, can you go out? Sure, I could go out, but I'm going to take time to rest. Why is that important to you?
I think it just helps to be well-rounded. The more, the times that you get to rest, gives you time to refuel so that you can have a better performance when you are working,
true.
when you
Facts.
are doing. So there's a balance there. Everything in
Yeah.
life is a balance
Yeah.
on what you do. So I think that there's a balance there of this rest day or this period of time, or I'm not going to do this, I'm going to work on this to, I guess, give you longevity, but
Yeah.
also more productivity.
Man, that's
awesome.
I'm so
Yeah.
convicted
Yeah.
because I go hard. Like I'm just like go 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 go. But if you don't ever rest, your body has no time to actually recover and build the muscle you
Yeah.
just broke down.
Right.
Exactly.
There's growth in rest.
Yes,
So
there's growth and rest.
Yep. That's where you get your strength from.
That's for sure.
that's both spiritually and physically.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think, that's why God rested on the seventh day. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure God's pretty swole. And it's like, he created everything in
True.
6 days, and then on the seventh day, he saw that it was good, and he rested.
Right.
If he hasn't made a Sabbath, surely
right.
we can make a Sabbath in our work. That's for sure. One thing I heard about diet, okay? I know that's the D word, but diet is so key spiritually and physically. Somebody said you can't outwork your diet. And I'm notorious for trying, okay? I'll try to outwork it and then have a great workout and then I don't eat. Or eat the right things to help my body recover and get the right proteins and carbs, whatever nutrients it needs to do what it needs to do. And it's so frustrating not seeing results because my diet is terrible.
Right.
Right? And I try to eat as, okay. I eat well when I do eat, but I don't eat enough.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So what can you say, Anthony, about someone's diet? How do you get a good workout, and then what do you do after that?
For me, diet is important. It's 90%, of your transformation.
90%.
90%. Because I tell that to my clients, all the time when they come in. I'm like, so what'd you eat?
Yeah.
I gotta stick with them and keep them accountable because I know if they're not showing any results by a certain time, I pinpoint it to the diet, and
That'll preach.
and the diet, and that's the hardest part, because I'm a Kool-Aid man.
Kool-Aid. Straight from the hood.
Man, I used to drink
Tropical
whole
punch.
pitchers of Kool-Aid like every day.
It's like a pre-workout.
Sugar.
Amped up.
A lot
10
of
minutes.
different things I used to do and eat, I had to cut all of that out.
Mm-hmm.
And once I cut that out, I was able to start seeing my results and stuff like that. So, that's living by experience.
Right. Right. Diet is huge.
Yes, it is.
Let me ask you, Karen and Sean, you guys have some significant weight loss. What role has diet played in this whole thing? Okay? Because it's two parts. Not just working out. It's what you're eating as well.
Right,
Intake.
absolutely. And that's one of the first things that, I've had several trainers over the years, great people who have impacted my life tremendously. And that's one of the things that they have always taught me was you can't outwork your diet. You have to be consistent with what you're doing. And for me, I'll try. I'm a fad. I'll get in these modes where I'll try fads. Neil, you know this, that I'll try some like keto, or I'm trying, paleo, and I'm trying this and that and whatever.
You made some paleo cookies one time. I'm like, these are terrible.
All right. You know what? Just because they're not Chips Ahoy,
Listen.
let me tell you.
I'm sorry, Karen.
But literally, I always think, the struggle is real when it comes to diet.
Yeah.
Those who are really out there trying to make a difference in their own lives. This struggle is real. It's a constant battle. It always has been. I don't want to confess that it always will be,
Right.
but it's a journey. Like when I say my journey to fitness, it's a journey for me, and it's something that I'll do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And really, that's just kind of what it boils down to, is just making sure that your intake, is less than what your outtake is, to say, if I'm saying that correctly, fellas, you can correct me. But basically, counting my calories, that's really what's bottom line has been the most successful for me is, this is my calorie intake, but this is what I'm burning off, as far as working out or, even on a rest day, that kind of thing, and monitoring it that way.
That's good. That's good. Sean, what do you think?
For me, I know a lot of people probably won't agree with me, but I have an unconventional way of thinking about it.
Okay.
Is what's healthy and what's not, and that's what you eat. You don't have to have for me, I don't sit there and count macros or anything like that.
Yeah, it's too much work.
I eat chicken and vegetables. I don't eat cookies. Why? Because cookies aren't good for you. So it's all back to
cookies are good, man.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes back to before when I was talking about mindset. What would a pro do?
Yeah.
Would a pro eat a cookie right now? Does that fit into your goal? No. You know what your goal is. You know what you're trying to do, and do it. Like, I mean, I don't know the correct audience listen to this, but we're probably all over 16 or 18. You know what's healthy, what's not. You know what a vegetable is. You know what a protein is. And you know what fat is. And you know what sugar is. Like, you stay away from the stuff that you need to stay away from, and you eat the stuff that you need to eat. I think a lot of times people getting started, they make it complicated.
Sure.
And if you have to do 47 math problems to figure out what your lunch was, forget it. It's less than one day. But if you just know, hey, I just eat these 3 things, make sure I stay away from these couple things, it's easy.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
as long as you're committed to making the difference.
Ask you a question just to get down into the nitty gritty. Like, when you walk into the grocery store, what do you do when you go to the grocery store and you see something that may look healthy? Are you one of the people that turns it over and actually reads the ingredients, or what's your approach when you go to the store to purchase what you're going to purchase for your diet? Like, do you have a shopping plan or?
So honestly, like I said, I stick to meat and vegetables. That's really my diet.
No carbs.
Chicken. Yeah, I just stay away from carbs. Yeah. You don't have to. Carbs can be good for you, but I found it working best for me and my body type. That I don't feel good when I eat a lot of carbs. When I eat bread and rice, it just bloats me up, and I don't feel good. So I don't eat it because I don't feel good when I eat it. It's simple as that. And as far as looking at the stuff, if there's something new I want to try, I'll flip it around and I'll basically look at it, what the carbs are and what the sugar are. And I just use it as a gauge. Because if it's got, it's this new protein bar, it's cool, but it's got 57 grams of sugar in it. It's like, well, put that back.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, they say if you can't pronounce it, then you probably shouldn't be eating it. And I heard some people, say, and let me just put this disclaimer out here. We're not doctors. You have to do what your health nutritionist and your doctor says to do, and get some godly wisdom. That's what you should do overall. But I heard when you go into the grocery store, you should pretty much hit the perimeter. Is that right? Like, hit the perimeter, because anything inside, a lot of it's processed and it's been on the shelf. But the perimeter where you eat the fruits and the vegetables, and you get your meats and your fresh things that's maybe cooled or chilled. But I eat Chipotle a lot. Now, one of my New Year's resolutions was not to eat Chipotle so much, and to bring my lunch to the meal prep. And I failed miserably. I've been spotted, okay? TMZ's got me, okay? But I'm going to start over again, and we're going to figure this thing out.
Well, that's a huge thing, too. Like, you will fail.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
And it's getting back onto it. There's another guy I follow that he has this, it's called the 2-day rule. So if you mess up one day, that's okay. You can mess up 2 days, but never more than that. If you mess up more than 2 days, you're starting a new habit. So you've already gone into the process of breaking what you've already started and starting a new bad habit because you went back. So that was really interesting. Like, just like we were saying earlier, I missed a workout because work got crazy. That's okay. You missed one. Like, if you're working out 3 times a week, 3 times 52 for the year, you're 150 something workouts. If you miss one, is it going to be devastating? No. Or you can make that one back up. So that was a big thing. Just never 2 days in a row is what never more than 2 days in a row.
And to piggyback off of that, I actually plan for failure. Like, I plan for failure daily in my diet a few weeks back. So basically what I do is, I know I'm going to want some fruit snacks later on in the day. So all day when I'm bypassing donuts and stuff like that, I'm like, I know I'm going to mess up. It's just either going to be this donut right now, or it's going to be the fruit snacks later. And I just plan to have that one mess up, and then the rest of the day I'm good, because I know, like, I have this waiting in the pocket, for later, which actually helped me tremendously just to plan for failure.
Yeah. It's basically, not necessarily planning for failure, but rewarding yourself for getting through the rest.
And that too.
It's more of a reward than a failure. It's like, if I can get through all this, I can have what I really want.
100%.
That's true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. Now, in sin, don't plan to sin. And I was trying to figure out how to you know what I'm gonna do, Jimmy said.
Don't work like that. That's not one of those parallels right there.
Jimmy said, I can do what I want to do, and there's grace. No,
at least once a day.
Right.
No, Jimmy did not say
No.
that.
It's and honestly, but the same thing. There is grace. You will mess up. You will fall. You will fail. You will get tired, and just want to just give the whole thing up completely. But that's where having somebody in your corner, some accountability, would definitely help. Will drag you to the gym if they need to make sure that you're healthy. So you want to live long and live strong. When we talked about looking healthy, feeling healthy. One thing about feeling healthy is mentally. When we eat the right things, when we work out, there's more oxygen going to our brain. Our body is functioning. There's more clarity. We can actually operate at a higher level when we're eating the right things and we're working out. And when we're not, it's kind of sluggish. Yeah. You get sleepier throughout the day. Everything kind of goes downhill overall. And it's really saying, okay, I want to not only look great, I want to feel great. I want to be able to be at my best. Exactly. I don't want to be sleepy all the time. I want to be sharp. Yeah. And I've noticed people that may not have all the muscles and they're trim and slim and so on, but they're stronger. That they can do more. That they maybe have better cardio because it's not just about looking good. It's great to get a pick on the gram, but you know what? What about your actual efficiency? What can you do? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think it's really key to keep in mind that your goals may look a little different than what culture or society says.
And that's true because one thing, like when you're first starting, it's hard to give up. That's why we got this January 19th National Quit Day and stuff like that. But it's important to find your why when you start.
Yes.
And if it should be bigger than yourself. Mm-hmm. So for me, my future kids, my wife, I think about them, as opposed to myself. And that helps me to be able to keep going and stay consistent and not give up after, 3 or 4 weeks. So find your why. And I think that will help people stay longer and be more consistent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love that. Awesome. 1 Corinthians 6 verse 12 says, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be enslaved by anything. Just because you can does not mean you should. And you have to think about that sometimes because you can't do what everybody else does and get the results that you want to get. So you have to make sure you keep that in the forefront of your mind. And I love Philippians 4, verse 8. Paul's talking about, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, commendable. If there's anything excellent, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. So during this process and this journey, when you're developing new habits and you're on your growth grind, make sure you're thinking about the right things. Your mind is set on the Word of God. Maybe it's making that confession once a day. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Even when you're feeling weak, in His weakness, in your weakness, I am strong. You have to make sure you're talking to yourself. So when you're talking to yourself and you're thinking the right things, you're developing the great self-image. Not sure where you are today in your fitness health journey, physically or spiritually, but I encourage you to keep on. We got your back. We support you. We're committed. We're growing, and we want to make sure that you take the next step. Physically, that might be joining a gym. That might be getting an accountability partner. Maybe cleaning out your refrigerator and starting over. Or spiritually, it might be going to Growth Track. We have Growth Track on Saturday at 5, Sunday 9 and 11. and or you can take it online as well. Or maybe it's saying, hey, I need to go celebrate recovery. I need to, root up some things. I need to change some habits. I need to get some freedom in my life. We got Celebrate Recovery on Thursdays at 7. Or maybe it's I want to go to the water baptism. I want to take the next step in that. We have that available for you. So head over to cotr.life to take those next steps. And we want you to know we're here for you. We love you. Our pastors, Pastor Blunt, Pastor Kim, they love and invest and believe in you. And we know that you can do this. And one thing we definitely know is that God is for you.